Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're jumping right into this fourth episode of the story Heart of a Phoenix, titled Attack of the Giant Eagle. And man, the tension is just completely off the charts right from the jump. We start off in Shepherd's Village. Now, this is a super remote, quiet place, usually totally off the radar for kingdom politics. But out of nowhere, a royal letter arrives, and it's not just delivered to the village elder or something. Literally every single house gets a notice. The Crown Prince, arguably the most powerful guy in the whole kingdom, is headed their way. So naturally, everyone is completely freaking out, and it perfectly sets up the absolute chaos we're about to see unfold. Now, for Ariana's banished family, this is basically their worst nightmare. You have to remember, they're hiding out in this rundown little house on the border, just trying to keep their heads down. The second they realize Crown Prince Warwick and the totally unforgiving Grace clan are practically at their doorstep, absolute panic sets in. The Grace clan has been trying to get back in the prince's good graces for years, so it's a guarantee they'll send someone to intercept him here. For Ariana's sleep mother and her younger brother Henry, who's honestly pretty naive to the ways of the world, this is a full-blown crisis. And Henry just totally loses it. He jumps up and yells, "What more do they want? To kill us all?" You can hear the sheer desperation in his voice, and honestly, can you blame him? Because here's the really tragic part of their situation right now. Ariana has completely lost her manifestation powers. Back in the day, if anyone so much as looked at her family the wrong way, she could wipe the floor with them with a flick of her wrist. She was their ultimate protector. But now, those powers are gone. She can't defend them, and Henry's outburst just hits the nail on the head. They are totally helpless. But you know Ariana. She is absolutely not the type to just roll over and give up. While her family is spiraling, she is laser focused. She actually has this highly specific, secret 3-step plan to get her magic back, courtesy of her master mage. Step 1 is pretty straightforward for her. She knows how to refine the spirit restoration tonic. She's got that covered. But step 2, that's the tricky one. She desperately needs this incredibly rare ingredient called the immortal spirit fruit. And the stakes are so high because she's been watching this exact fruit for 5 whole years, and it's literally just about to ripen. If she can snag it, she hits step 3, getting her manifestation powers back, just in the nick of time to defend her family. First things first, though, she needs solid intel. She's got to find out exactly when the prince is arriving and what he's actually doing here. So, Ariana and her totally loyal maid, Jane, go full undercover. Ariana hides her long hair under a wig, dulls her skin, the whole shebang. They head straight for the Traveler's Tavern, which is literally the very last stop on the edge of the kingdom. And Ariana's got a really strong hunch about this. She doesn't buy that the prince is just passing through on a casual stroll. She suspects he's secretly trying to get his hands on her prized immortal spirit fruit. But when they step into the tavern, it is a complete madhouse. I mean, usually this place is full of gritty travelers and merchants, right? Not today. It is packed wall to wall with hundreds of young women, and they are decked out in their absolute finest, most expensive clothes. If you listen to the gossip going around, these inexperienced girls have basically emptied their bank accounts just to travel here based on a rumor. They just want one single glimpse of the Crown Prince, the guy everyone calls the greatest of their generation. Ariana, who, fun fact, used to be engaged to him, just kind of rolls her eyes at the whole ridiculous spectacle. So they're sitting in this chaotic crowd, and suddenly this handsome guy with really sharp eyes just casually plops down at their table. Ariana looks up, and I swear her blood must run completely cold. It's Jake Grace. Now, they aren't directly related, but they are from the same massive clan, and she absolutely remembers fighting him at the Sphinx Academy of Manifestation like 10 years ago. Since then, he's leveled up into a master manifester. Lucky for her, her disguise is totally flawless, so he doesn't recognize his old rival at all. But Ariana knows one crucial detail. Jake is the Crown Prince's absolute best friend in the world. If anyone has the inside scoop on Warwick, it's this guy. While Ariana's racking her brain on how to subtly interrogate him, Jake is just living for the drama in the room. He actually points out this woman sitting nearby in a fancy, white-veiled hat, super smug about the fact that her disguise didn't fool his keen eye. And guess who it is? Gazelle Monroe, the sacred lady of the Celestial Palace. Ariana is legitimately shocked by this. I mean, even the highly respected sacred lady is hiding out in a grimy border tavern just to stalk the Crown Prince. It really puts into perspective just how unbelievably magnetic and powerful Warwick is. But then, the vibe in the tavern takes a really nasty dive. All that excited, bubbly chatter suddenly turns into some really toxic gossip. A group of girls nearby starts trash-talking the quote-unquote good-for-nothing banished fifth daughter of the Grace family. Yep, they are just relentlessly tearing into Ariana Grace, calling her a brazen traitor, totally oblivious to the fact that she is literally sitting right there, just quietly taking it all in. And the reason they're so fired up actually ties back to this really deep traditional Mystic Valley lore. See, Warwick's name translates to the sovereign descends to the world, and Ariana's name means the phoenix soars above the land. Culturally, these names are considered a perfect romantic match, like two equals destined for each other. The crowd is basically saying that back when she was a prodigy, it was fine. But now that she's powerless and disgraced, they are just absolutely furious that a traitor gets to keep a name that links her to their flawless, perfect prince. Hearing her lady get dragged like this, Jane is practically seeing red. She's got tears in her eyes and looks like she's about to jump across the room and fight these girls. But Ariana plays it cool and stops her. Meanwhile, across the table, Jake Grace is totally missing the thick tension. He actually finds the whole conversation hilarious. He literally scoffs and repeats the names going, "The sovereign descends to the world? The phoenix soars above the land?" Good grief. To him, the very idea of his incredibly powerful best friend being tied to the disgraced Ariana is just the funniest joke ever. Well, his good mood doesn't last for long. All of a sudden, this piercing voice rings out, "Wait, isn't that young Prince Jake?" And boom, his cover is blown. The crowd realizes he's not just a noble, he's the Crown Prince's right-hand man, and fangirl logic dictates that touching him is the next best thing to touching Warwick himself. So instantly, this terrifying massive stampede of desperate women just rushes their table. Jake goes totally pale, and Ariana has to frantically yank Jane out of the way just so they don't get literally trampled to death by the mob. Jake jumps up onto a windowsill, getting ready to use his powers to fly out of there and escape, but before he even gets the chance, the ground just violently drops out from under them. It's this massive, earth-shattering tremor that literally knocks everyone off their feet. You hear glasses shattering, people are falling all over each other. And those excited fangirl squeals, they instantly turn into just pure, deafening screams of absolute terror. Nobody has a clue what's happening, and it hits way too fast for anyone in that jam-packed room to do a single thing. Then, in a split second, they find out exactly what caused the earthquake. A literal streak of fire just crashes straight into the restaurant. There's this huge whoosh, and the whole wooden structure goes up in flames almost instantly. The heat is just blinding. Fire totally swallows up the exact spot where Jane was standing just a second ago. Seriously, if Ariana hadn't used her crazy fast reflexes to pull Jane back at the absolute last possible second, she would have been a goner. The whole tavern just devolves into utter pandemonium, with people scrambling for their lives. And then, out of the thick smoke, the real nightmare shows itself. You hear this massive, heavy swoosh of gigantic wings, and this monstrous bird lifts up into the sky right above the burning tavern. It lets out this deafening, bone-rattling roar that echoes through the entire village. And guys, it has literal, dripping, liquid fire just pouring out of its open, terrifying jaws. The crowd on the ground is completely frozen in shock, because staring down at them is an actual living legend, the giant flaming cloud eagle. It has literally brought a firestorm down on Shepherd's Village. So the massive question is, how on earth is a completely powerless Ariana going to protect her family from a legendary beast like this? Well, we are going to have to find out in the next part of the story. If you like the story, please like and share it, and subscribe to the channel to watch future episodes. Thanks for watching.